Quarantini Time, a show where I get to chat with friends and family while enjoying a delicious beverage with them. Tonight's guest I've been waiting to have on for quite some time, and tonight she tries her very first dirty martini just for me because she loves me that much. Everybody, please welcome my sister, Jen Epper. Hey, sister, welcome to Quarantini Time.
Hi, sister.
What are we drinking tonight?
Well, I wanted to be traditional with how this all started and have a dirty martini with you. And actually, this is the first time that I'm ever trying a dirty martini. But I have these glasses. I think they're actually margarita glasses. Look, it's in the shape of a martini glass. So that's what I got. Dirty
Cheers,
martini.
sister.
Cheers. Let's see how this tastes. Ooh. Yes, delicious. Love it.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
What type of vodka are you using in your martini? Because that might make a difference.
well, I'm glad you asked, Laura, because actually tonight's edition of Quarantini Time is sponsored by Grey Duck Vodka, made here in Minnesota by our very own former Vikings player, Chad Greenway.
Yeah, is a bottle of that going to end up at my house?
It depends on how much royalties from the Grey Duck Vodka organization for mentioning them in the Quarantini Time. So yeah, if he sends me a whole case of Grey Duck Vodka for free, sure, I'll share.
Chad Greenway, you hear that? Send out some Grey Duck our way.
There we
Duck,
go.
Grey Duck. So you're a divided household right now. You're a Broncos fan. Your boyfriend, living partner, is a Vikings fan. How do you live in the divided household?
Well, according to Derek, my significant other, he says that because they are in two different divisions, that it's okay. One is in the AFC and one is in the NFC. We can live together and be friends. But, if it was anybody else that was in the same division as the Vikings, that would be bad.
Well, let's take a trip back down memory lane, back to probably around 1982, 83. The summer of, I'm sure, right before I turned 3 years old.
Okay.
We were playing at a park somewhere.
It's not ringing any bells with me.
Now, remember, I was 3 years old, and from what I've been told in stories, I don't remember said incident, is that I wanted to go down a slide, but I was scared.
From what I remember as well, I've tried to block it out, kind of. But from what I recall as well, we were at a park. My mom was visiting one of her friends, and there was a park in their neighborhood, and we went to the park. In the 80s, there were these slides that had big, huge metal handles. I'm not sure why they were there or what they were for. I think they were to help you sit down or to
hold on to if you were too scared to go down a slide.
Yes, when you were at the top of the slide. Why? You should have probably just done that. You might have been a better outcome, but you probably were begging and begging me to take you down this slide, and you were too scared to go by yourself. And so the good big sister that I am, I decided to take you down the slide. And again, there's these. You get to the top of the slide, and there's these open handles. I sit you down on my lap. A lot of times, lots of people have probably done that before, where they take their kid down the slide in front of them or on their lap and go down. And from what I hear from the stories, you were sitting in front of me, and as we were going down the slide, your leg might have gone through the opening of one of the handles, but my weight then, of course, behind you, and we're sliding, continued to, of course, then just push down both of us the rest of the way down the slide with your leg in there. And this is what I'm envisioning. Your leg probably was like this, and it went through the hole, and then it just went like that. And the funny thing is that, we got off the slide, and, the one thing I remember is yelling at you and telling you to walk. Like, what's your problem? Walk!
You were probably about 9 at this time, 8 or 9, right?
So it depends who you ask. In 1983, somebody like Katie Kastubi might say I was 99 in 1983. So it really, but yes, for all purposes, probably 9 years of age.
So the outcome of that was that I couldn't walk because my femur was broken. Also, due to that broken bone, I had to be put in a body cast from my chest down with a bar in between my legs.
That was the funniest. I can't wait till we go through all Mom's stuff and find the pictures of you. I haven't seen it for a really long time, but yes, it was down your whole broken leg and then halfway down your other leg and then a bar in between the two legs. I know no one can see me what I'm doing right now. And I remember you had to wear a diaper over the scab.
I'm so glad you get a kick out of this. I know that there's
You
a
don't
picture.
remember it. You don't remember it. You're fine.
So thank you for starting my journey through broken bones, because the next few were easy after that.
Yeah. You've broken so many bones. To this day, I have not broken a bone.
Forgot you were present for yet another broken bone.
Yeah, I was spotting you in a back handspring when you broke that wrist, right?
Yeah. So I see your good friend Phil is right behind you there. He looked like he's been through a war.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah. He shows up wherever you go.
Oh my God, what a freaking stalker!
What started your hatred of Phil Collins?
But many years ago, Buffalo Wild Wings, the franchise that I work for, we decided to expand our revenue by selling our jars of sauce and gift cards in a mall kiosk or a mall cart. We moved in to the mall, into this little kiosk cart in November and December, just for the holidays. They don't start the Christmas music in the mall until after Black Friday. I would be working the kiosk at the River Hills Mall here in Mankato, and seriously, every shift I worked, there would be Phil Collins playing overhead. To be honest, prior to that experience, I never really noticed his music a lot, didn't really pay attention to it, didn't really like it, but I didn't hate it at that point. However, when you are sitting there, nobody's really around or shopping, and all you're hearing is, I feel it coming in again. I mean, just awful, god awful music coming from the mall. He was stalking me because every shift I worked, all of a sudden he just became a stalker. And then after I was done working at the mall, I would start hearing Phil Collins everywhere. So basically just shared with all my friends and family that I hated Phil Collins. I can't stop hearing his music, which turned into this whole huge thing of my hatred for Phil Collins. I was in a grocery store, probably 10 o'clock at night. Just a few things I needed. I had a basket filled with a couple of things, and a Phil Collins song came on. And I'm not even kidding you. I set the basket down in the middle of the grocery store aisle and walked out. I'm like, I don't need this shit that badly that I need to finish my shopping and listen to Phil Collins. Just yesterday, Derek and I were coming back from Owatonna listening to some local radio station, and a Phil Collins song came on, and I immediately turned the station, and Derek, he was very upset because he'd never heard that song before and really wanted to hear it. I'm like, well, you can just walk the rest of the way home then. And so it just grew from there. From what I understand, you created this whole Facebook thing for my 40th birthday and had everybody send me pictures and cards of Phil Collins, which was just completely cool and stupid at the same time. This Phil Collins was actually in my front yard on the morning of my 40th birthday as I backed out of my driveway heading to work. He was just there. So
years ago, we came up with the greatest idea of doing a sister vacation, because we're the only girls. We're the sisters. We got the two brothers. They can do their own, but we're cool. We like hanging out with each other until day 3, but once we get past day 3, we're good. So our first sister vacation, we went to Seattle and had a great time. I had never been to Seattle.
I had never been to Seattle.
So that was fun. We had a blast. Hung around Seattle for a couple days. We haven't done a sister vacation since.
No. Well, you decided to get married and have a kid and stuff.
So my question is, when is our next sister vacation, and where is it going to be?
I think maybe we should take suggestions from all your fans, Laura. We've talked about, I'm in Minnesota, Laura's in Colorado, and on my bucket list, and I don't care who I do this with necessarily, but I'm going to do it, is I will attend the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade at some point in my life. We've got a lot of commitments in our life, so I would really, really like to do a sister vacation again, but I think we would have to maybe just make it a little bit shorter as well. So probably continental US. I mean, there's a lot of places in continental US that I've never been. And it doesn't necessarily need to be some place that neither one of us have been to.
I do have the goal of hitting all 50 states before I turn 50. Now, I know
Ooh.
you've already hit that years and years and years ago, the 50 mark.
Well, yeah,
50
obviously.
states.
I mean, I was there when the colonies were created, so.
Right, you were there for the original 13. So we do have to go somewhere where I haven't been because I'm getting a little older, still in my 30s. So I got a little bit of time. Well, this is the time in the interview where I like to ask my James Lipton COVID-19 questionnaire.
Let's do it.
Question number 1. What is your favorite word?
One word that I don't even think exists that I always just kind of now smile when I hear it or when we use it, because we all in our family and maybe other families use it, is Skol. And not to be confused with Skol, the Vikings chant, but I think Mom would always say that. It's a combination of let's and go. And it would just be Skol.
What's your least favorite word?
My least favorite word is can't. Anybody that says that, I can't. Well, try a little harder. Well, look a little harder. You can.
Who would you most like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with?
For me, the Mankato 4 and my best friends, they're the ones who have seen me at my worst. They would probably be sick of me. I would be on their, not want to be in quarantine with, but those 3 ladies would probably be the ones that I would be able to go through this with, besides obviously the people who are currently in my house. I think I would be able to make it with them.
My Mankato 4, my Golden Girls, are Annie Freilich, Maggie Setley, Katie Kasubi, and Jennifer Epper.
You got it.
Who would you least like to be in a stay-at-home quarantine with?
I'm not even going to say his name.
What is your favorite curse word?
I think I say, God damn it, a lot. But when I am drinking, I say fuck all the time. Like every other word is fuck.
What sound or noise do you love? It's
a sound that I think we're all going to miss out on for a really long time. And that is hearing fans in a stadium cheering. That was some of my fondest and just most fun I've had in my life has been at Broncos games with you. We went to that one Broncos game and sat in the fan section and I know that it's more than just the sound, but just the stopping on the stadium and the cheering. And so that's something that I love hearing.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Children whining. That is, God, that's awful. But one of my other top ones, which might be kind of weird, and I know nobody has said this one, is people using a nail clippers. And not me using a nail clipper. I'm okay to clip my own, but if I am in a room and someone else is using a nail clipper on their toes or fingers, that noise, oh my God, that drives me so crazy.
If you could have only one type of food during a stay-at-home quarantine, what would it be?
It would be chicken wings. But especially right now, chicken wings are a takeout food that hold up really well.
What profession other than yours would you like to attempt?
One is more of a dream profession that I've always wanted to do, and that would be to be some type of performing artist in the ways of dancing or singing and or both. I just think about all the old musicals and movies and things, and I would have loved to have been all those people. More realistically, however, the whole Sid Sweet Treat is starting to take off a little bit, or will, or possibly continue. And so, even Pat and I have talked about some type of bakery or some other kind of concept in the baking world. I would love to own a bakery.
What profession other than yours would you not like to do?
Seriously, I applaud teachers. I applaud anyone in the healthcare number one. I got a small taste of that when Mom had her accident recently when she fell down, and she's okay and she's back to normal and everything. And that is just definitely, something that I could not do. There's no way. Working with the elderly, working with people with special needs, I just don't have the patience for it. And so I applaud all those people in those industries.
And the last question tonight, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gate?
Not what I would like him to say. I'm actually just going to tell you what he will say. And that's going to be, wow. That's impressive.
I love it. You're my favorite sister around. Thank you so much for being on Quarantini Time with me. My drink is gone, but cheers to you.
Well, yes, cheers. Oh, your drink is gone. Glorso-McCabe. Cheers. funny.